Welcome back to A Time for Christ. Here. So I used to think the strongest of the sins was lust, because I think of our generation is expressed the most. I'm like, you see it a lot on social media. You see the sexualization of many different things, and it's becoming normalized. But in a sense, lust is beautiful, not because of the sin, but of the ability to recognize it and the ability to embark on a journey through it, and the journey of conquering it will get you closer to Jesus. And all the other sins are kind of in a sense like that. You go to jail for a murder, you can find a way through that horrible deed you've done, to repent, forgive, and grow closer to God. But the original sin, the great sin, pride, does not allow that. If you think about it on an earthly term, pride isn't that big of a deal necessarily. Like, people can be prideful and it won't really harm anyone. It won't do any surface damage, but internally it is the worst sin. It is the worst sin, because the sin of pride blinds individuals to a point where they believe they could be the best. They're better than anyone. They're better than X, this person, that person. But then they also become annoyed with other people that achieve great things. They say, why is this man so prideful? Why is he flaunting this, or he flaunting this? If you are jealous of the people who flaunt, or the people who are proud, you yourself is proud. And the orchestrator of pride is Satan. Satan is that's the first ever sin. He thought he was better than God, so he tried to be like God, and that's what he introduced to us, Adam and Eve. He said, if you eat this apple, you will be like God. Now, I just wanted to make this aware that we cannot really recognize pride, because pride blinds us of it. And I think everyone can admit or see that they have been proud at some point of their lives. Think about it in social groups, right? You have the in group, right? Then you have the out group. Your in group is, you use the analogy of a lunch table. Do you believe your lunch table is better than the lunch table across you? Are you just better all around? You have more of this, more of that, and you seek pleasure out of having more than the other lunch table? If so, you are proud. You are a prideful person, and that is not good. See, in Genesis, God said he created humans very good. I think the only thing humans can justly be proud of is that we're better than animals, right? We're not. God didn't say this person will be better than this person, right? I think we all have similar attributes. We all have the same base stat total, if you will. But I think people now, I think throughout all humanity, but especially now, need to seek approval from others, having more, right? And if you have more than this person, they are not acceptable of approval. if you will. Hopefully I explained that right. That we're almost using a caste system in our society, right? For example, like awards. I talked about this in an apologetics class, but awards are basically like a gateway to pride almost, because you are, the world's basically declaring you have more of something than another person, and that can lead someone to be prideful and to other sins. Pride is very, very strong. Pride is something I think we all have. I think if you do not see yourself as prideful, you're blinded. I just want to keep it like that. I think pride will lead people to the devil. Well, I know that. But the opposite of pride is humility. And how I think I've became more humble is thinking of it like this. God created earth, right? So your house is just repurposed materials from God created by human hand in order to have a shelter, right? So having a bigger house doesn't mean this person is better than this person. They just simply have more of God's material. They don't own that big house necessarily, no matter how much labor you've put into it, no matter how many hours of schooling you had. It's still God's house at the end of the day because it's his material, right? We never signed an agreement, oh, I own this material now. No. See, like this GoPro, right, I'm filming on is not mine. Even though I've paid money for it, it's repurposed material made by human hands, right? That is owned by God. I think true humility is seeing you are nothing without God, right? You have to think of yourself almost as like a speck. And people say, like, why think of yourself as this worthless, this small? And it's true, but the beauty of thinking of yourself as small is that this being needs a purpose for this. Needs a purpose for something this small, but this small thing can make an impact on the world through him, right? See, we are reliant on God because God gives us everything, right? He is our strength. He is the light. He is the ability for us to see. He is the ability of us to move, to think, to have reason. And with pride, that almost is taken away because we are so caught up in, we're almost claiming God's gifts as our own. This is earth, whatever God's gifts are, the rentals. We don't own it. We don't own the ability to lift weights or the ability to see. We're just getting rented, right? So, yeah, I don't really know where else to go from there, but the thing is that we're so reliant on God. We are so reliant on God. We need God so much because anything you do is of God, right? God is everything. God is your mind, my voice, your voice. And hell is a place without those gifts, right? It is a place of outer darkness. And God didn't create the darkness, He created the light. Darkness is just light, the absence of light. So I think as you go along in your journey, try to rely on God. That doesn't mean no action. Don't lay in a bed and say, I rely on you, God. Do things for me. No. You do things through God, right? Relying doesn't mean be a possum and play dead. It means to act of God, not act of yourself. Acting of yourself is pride. Claiming to have these awards is pride. If you look on my Instagram, I deleted all my photos, not because I deleted all my photos because it was the sense of I wanted my accomplishments to have to be approved by you guys, and that's pride. That's pride. So as we go on, be humble through God. See God in everything. Thank Him every day. And I try to. I don't do it every day. I'm not perfect at it. But we have to strive for it because we don't deserve anything, right? We're just specks almost. But the beauty of it is He's blessed almost creatures worth nothing and said, I have a plan for you. See you guys.